and more to come. Special congratulations to all the previous keynote speakers. You have highlighted very critical aspects, starting from, of course, Bipin Kumar Shah sir, Professor Dr. Rajesh Kanno sir, Ganecha sir. Excellent topics. So now let me, without any further delay, start my presentation, which is about the predators. Yes, in research, we have seen the predators, we have seen the scammers, we have seen unethical activities. So in Edoxia, we always want to make sure that we'll highlight this, spread the information, so that our scholars, our global academicians, they will learn the things which is very easy. It's very easy to learn, and especially in the context of publications, which is absolutely the bedrock of our research. That's how we propagate our research. That's how we propagate our ideas and our findings as well. So without any delay, I would like to share my screen, and we will start. The one of the very important aspects which I feel that I should share with all the global academicians and researchers, that who are they? Who are the predators of in our research and publication? So without any delay, let me start. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So very warm welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all those who have joined in today's day two, IRTech 2.0 2024. Let's start with who are the predators, how we can actually identify these people, those who are in the name of free publication or fast publication, paid publication, open accesses, they are actually looting our scholars. It is the matter of fact that in daily, I come across the scholars, the researchers who are actually suffering from these predators. That means they are also paying money for their publication, and then they find out these are the clone journals, these are the fake journals, I've got scam. But you have to understand what are the distinct features. As a scholar, we must learn things and we can execute. And I always advocate, and in Edoxia, we always advocate, go for free publication, learn the art of manuscript drafting, learn the art of scientific writing, learn the art of data interpretation. Then, of course, nothing is impossible. You can have Q1, Q2 journals. Free publications are there in Scopus or in Web of Science or in the top-notch journals. That is how we always try to learn. This is a very important term. Learn to do things correctly, ethically, and how you propagate this particular things, that is the ethics. We have talked about ethics in children's. Now we should talk about ethics in scholars and researchers, which is very important in Edoxia. So that is why I will take the opportunity in this IATEC 2.0 2024, the international conference. Scholars from Asia, Africa, and Europe are here, and across the globe, they have joined here. So that let's start with one very important aspect. First of all, I would like to highlight that how this scam happens. And then we will move towards how to get rid of these things and how you can actually publish it for free. Very simple steps you have to follow. But the idea is that you have to learn these things, because research is always in a dynamic state. You have to understand that. We have to learn every day to execute it to the best and to the optimal level we can. As a scholar, as a researcher, whenever someone is saying that you can get author position, you pay this amount of money, that is a red flag. This is a super unethical activity. No academician, no scholar should actually avail this kind of a things where you pay the money and you get the author positions. This is actually a cancer in our research and in our innovation, because this will not propagate anything. The critical thinking never comes. The art of learning and doing the research and getting the research findings will never happen if we always doing copy paste work. So that is why be aware of these scammers. What another unethical practice is nowadays, you can see that pay me, let's say $100, $200, and I can get you publication in 15 days, 10 days, 7 days, 2 days. So that means there is no peer review process. If there is no peer review process, that means if no expert will comment on your research, then who will validate? So that is why in our community, in our researchers and our academicians, whenever we go for our research findings, we need peer review processes. So those peers who have excellent knowledge about the same domain, they can comment on it. They can go for major or minor revisions. And in some cases, sometimes rejection is good. That means your manuscript, your research work is not up to the standards. So elevate your standards by learning things in a right way, in an ethical way. And of course, sometimes they will say, pay me, let's say $20, $30, and then after that, after your publication, you can pay me $100 and $200 or $300, sometimes $1,000 or whatever. So this is one red flag you need to understand, because everything is ethical, everything is being standardized. Even the big publication houses, the Scopus, Web of Sciences, they have their own standards. You have to cross those standards, meet those guidelines, and then you can publish it for free. No need to pay any money. And for that, you can learn things. It is very easy. It is not rocket science. As a researcher, you just have to build two very important traits: learning ability and try to always innovate yourself. This is very, very important. And it's very critical. Nowadays, of course, you can see, yes, of course, in Scopus, we have the open access journals, but their fee structure starts from $1,500, $2,000. And that also go for a peer review process. A lot of people have the myth that, okay, if I'm publishing in an open access, I do not want, I will skip the part of a peer review process. That is not how it operates. Plus the article processing charges. You need to understand in detail what are these article processing charges. After all, as an editor, if some manuscript comes to my desk, two things are very important for me. Does that manuscript has a citation value? That means, does that article is actually influencing our scholars to learn new things? Does it contributes to their research gap? If the answer is yes, of course, I will send it for review. If the answer is no, I will simply write down an email that your article does not match the aims and scope. You can find these open access journals and you can try in that way. So this is out and out rejection. Why? Because your standards are not being maintained. How to maintain the standard? Let's have a look that what are the things you need to do in order to have one manuscript ready for submission. First thing is your research topic, your research idea, your research findings need to be in a very synchronized manner. For example, as a scholar, we always prepare for first the rough draft, where we prepare the outline, we prepare the idea. Okay, how will I write the introduction part? How will I start narrating my story, which is actually grasping to the readers? That means the scholars. Then comes my research question. In the context, how have I done my research gap? That means, in other words, we can say that what I'm talking about it is a current trending topic, or it is having a new research findings. If the answer is yes, then I will move towards the next draft. Next part is, of course, my data. How I collected the data. What are the methods I have used? What is the methodology? What are the research results I have found? How I'm interpreting my results? If I'm just, let's say, for example, if you are a qualitative researcher, you're going for, let's say, a statistical analysis. And if I'm covering my entire manuscript from the t-test, ANOVA, correlation analysis, I'm sorry, no one is interested in these things. The interesting part is, what is your results? How you're interpreting your results in the context of, you have to understand the primary, secondary, and the tertiary data. And then what are the software you're using? Are you using for the entire manuscript? As I think in my last presentation, I have already discussed that what kind of a software in one manuscript required. And I think the number is around 7 to 8 softwares we need, starting from, yes, the reference software management. Then we can go for the figures, because in Scopus, there are certain standards. We cannot just give our Excel files, tables, or figures for the publication part. So we need Sigma, we need Origin, we need statistical softwares, we need WordTune, we need Grammarly, we need, if you are from the mathematics background, we need math type, if you are from the chemistry, ChemDraw. And then how I use my artificial intelligence, that is the chat GPT, in order to refine the things, not copy paste the things. Because in every journal submission, the first thing you have to click is you have to mention that I haven't used any AI writing in my manuscript draft. So it is very, very important. So once your data analysis, the art of interpretation you learn, then of course you focusedly target on one particular journal. Now, how to find these journals? A lot of people have so many confusions, although it is very easy. There are so many, of course, the journal finders are there in Scopus or in Web of Science. You can just directly copy paste your abstract, your keywords, and you can get the references, you can get the journal list. But how to model it, refine it, focused way? It is very easy. What my practice is that I'll directly go for the Scopus. Let's say I go to sciencedirect.com and I will put some of the keywords which I feel that is my keywords from manuscript. Then I get certain selections. Out of that selections, I will only look forward for the current. That means 2024, 2023, 2022. I will filter them out. Then I will look at individually the topics and the relevance. And I will look at the homepage of the journals. Are the aims and scopes are matching with my domain? If the answer is yes, yes, this is my journal. I want to target this journal for the submission. But how? And why you have chosen? You have to understand it very critically. Now set a time-bound line. That is when I'm going to submit. Okay, let me share. If I have prepared the rough draft, within 1 month, I will prepare everything and I will submit on this date. Write it down. That is how you do the time-bound work. And finally, it is very, very important in which platform, which publication house you are choosing. So all these things actually goes in a culminative point, and then it is very easy for the submission process. And of course, you need certain help in that part. Sometimes some journals are asking for graphical abstract. You can learn the graphical abstract. Sometimes they are asking for highlights. What are highlights? What are my bullet points? What are the different tools I can use to create certain bullet points? It is not a long stories. It should be short in one-liner. Can you describe your manuscript in 2 lines? That is the exercise we used to do in order to have the notion of the topic. Sometimes even the topic, we have to do a thorough research and argument and discussions on just the topic. And then finally, when my entire structure, as per the author's guideline, I will set up each and everything. My tables and figures, what kind of a tables I am giving, if I'm just giving certain X and Y, Z references tables, or these are my tables for my interpretation, my results. Novelty check is very, very important. And then finally, one mantra I will say, which is absolutely vital, that every scholar should maintain this one very important aspect, that is the author's guideline. Most of the time we have seen, and especially in Edoxia, we have IIPNs across the globe, and those who are every day, they are having their exposure to the Scopus submissions, they're learning. But one thing is very important, that they should follow the author's guideline very critically. It is very, very important. It is actually the main aim is that you have to, every word you have to read, and then you have to prepare your manuscript. And finally, of course, in Edoxia, we always want to help our scholars, our academicians, those who are publishing quality work. Every day, our IIPNs are going for Scopus publication, Q1, Q2, Q3 journals. But the thing is that their own ethics are very, very important, as well as the ethics of Edoxia. We always maintain that we go for free publication. That is why we have launched every international conference, we have a one peer review process where we'll go for ISBN book publication. Not only that, of course, now we have our innovation insights. The ISSN journal is there. You can send your manuscript, but only, of course, it is also a peer review process. The excellent manuscript will get a chance for the publication in our innovation insights, and we are coming out with more journals. So the idea is not to publish more and more. The idea is the quality of your work, which you are learning in Edoxia. So be a good learner. Make sure that as a researcher, as an academician, I will not fall into these predators. I will have my own learning cycle on, and that is how I will reach to the destination. So with this, I urge all our global academicians, our researchers, it is a very, very simple process. Every day, in every event, every conference, every workshop, we are always highlighting about free publication processes. Even in our international webinars, in our symposiums, in our events, live demonstration, training programs. Why we are doing this? We are doing this for our global scholars so that they can learn, then they can try to execute, and then once the email will come for the acceptance, we will share the joy with each other. So with this note, I would like to end today's my session. I would like to thanks to our all participants for listening me patiently. And of course, I would like to thank our Honorable President, sir, for giving this wonderful, wonderful platform, wonderful opportunity to share my views. And also, I will once again request to our scholars, learn every day and execute every day. This is the best part where you can have everything is for free. You don't have to pay. Please do not fall onto these unethical predators or fast publication. And this is all ridiculous authors available. This is actually a cancer, and we need to treat them with this kind of a chemotherapy. Edoxia chemotherapy should be there with these kind of a cancer. So over to our Honorable President, sir.